Good morning, hello. What a beautiful one it is as well. Hopefully it's sunny and bright wherever you are. It's a lovely morning. The sky is blue. There's a few clouds out there, but it's beautiful. Say hello if you're hopping on, if you're joining me. Today I'm going to be focusing on the Sweet as a Peach bundle. As promised, it's the second stamp set that I am focusing on this month. So yeah, I'm going to be creating a couple of, well, maybe three, we'll see how time goes, projects with you using the bundle, which is proving to be really, really popular. So let's just check I'm live in the right place. I think I am. Hopefully somebody will be joining me. Oh, seeing the hand there. That was the wrong hand. I should have used the other hand. Someone is hopping on, so do say hello if you're joining me. So yeah, the focus of today is Sweet as a Peach, and I'm using this for my creative escape. Alfie is he's right by me and he's got his bone and he's just wanting attention because I'm talking. So he's being a bit needy, so he'll settle down in a minute. Yeah, so focusing on the Sweet as a Peach bundle today. I popped on live randomly on Saturday morning to share a couple of projects with the Plentiful Plants. So I've got those to share with you first. Alfie, get down, be good. He gets like this sometimes. He's like, who are you talking to? I'm excited. Is somebody else here? I'm not seeing anybody. So anyway, let's get down to some stamping. So bear with me while you see the palm of my hand again, while I just turn you down. Oh, morning, Jacqueline. How are you? How are you doing, my lovely? What are you up to this morning? So I've got quite a busy day ahead of me. I did work quite a lot over the weekend getting things prepped for my creative escape, and I'm hoping to get some kits packed this afternoon, but I've got other things that I need to prepare for. I've got a team training coming up next week. I've got an online class tonight that I've got to get ready for. So lots and lots of things going on as usual around here. There's never a dull moment. So, and yesterday was of course my day off. It was my Nana day. I had Evsy yesterday, so I do alternate. Sometimes I have Miss Vivi, just depends. But yeah, so I had Evsy yesterday, so full on day. Bless the little heart. She's just over 1. She's on her feet. She's walking. She's got a bit of a cough at the moment, so she was a little bit under the weather. She did have a little nap around lunchtime, so I bring her over. What I do when I've got Evsy, we've got oh, what's the word? Is this an age brain? Menopause brain, maybe? We've got like a carry cot, like a travel one that I bring over, and then I bring her milk over, and then I get her to sleep over here and pop her down, and then I usually manage to get, you know, a good hour and a half of crafting in while she's here, which makes me feel like a bit of a fraud, really, because it is my Nana day, and I'm with her, but it does mean that I can get a little bit of work done while she's having a nap. So morning, Ellie. Just looking at comments which have now scrolled up. You're cleaning out those guinea pigs again. Bless them. And catching up on other jobs while watching me craft. Jacqueline, you're crafting as well. Fabulous. Lovely. And morning, Ruth. How are you? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I feel like, I know it's Tuesday and obviously I don't work on a Monday, so this for me is like the beginning of my week. So anyway, enough waffle, let's get on, because I'm hoping to get 3 projects created for you today. So bear with me in the palm of the hand. Let's move some things out of the way. My phone is a bit crooked in the stand. Put some light on the subject, wait for the catch up, and hopefully we can get going. Get this grid paper sorted. You know, I stress about this grid. I'm crazy, aren't I? I'm such a fusspot. So I'm a bit sniffy today as well. Yesterday I felt really heady. I don't know it was the weather. It was kind of like a bit close. So I did feel a bit heady yesterday. But today I feel a bit sniffy, and I've never had hay fever before. And I know it can just come, and I'm hoping it is not that it's just a bit of a cold. Both of the grandchildren, they've got a bit of a cold, so I could have picked something up. So let's take this grid down. You know I like to work on my grid. Okay, so these, some of you have seen these. These are what I created on Saturday. And one of you who commented will be getting one of these in the post. So I'm super excited about that. So I was focusing on the Plentiful Plants. I do have a class in the post sorted for this. I just need to find a little bit of time to get it up on my events website, and it will always be up there, so you'll be able to purchase, if you contact me via there, you'll be able to purchase a PDF and an online class, regardless of if you don't want the kits that go with it. So that was Saturday's play, which I loved doing those. Let's bring in today. Sweet as a Peach. I know this has been really, really popular. It is beautiful. It was, again, like the Plentiful Plants, it was top of my list when I saw the PDF of the new catalogue coming out ahead of the launch. Sadly, it wasn't on pre-order. I had to wait, but how blessed were we to have hand pen petals on pre-order, and you've seen a lot of that. So this month you're going to be seeing a lot of this. Look at the dies. They are so sweet. Now, I do feel slightly nervous about all these little dies, but you just have to keep in control of them and know that when you use one, put them back in the place that they belong. So if you keep them in their packet, put them straight back in. Don't leave them down on your desk, on your work surface, because they will get mixed up with bits of cardstock that you've chopped up. They're so tiny, but they are beautiful, and I'm using some of those today. And I wanted to share on my projects. The main focus, obviously, of this stamp set, when I look at it, I see the peach. But we're going to stamp with the peach, but we're also going to do a couple of flowery images as well. I'm also using, of course, the tailor-made tags. You all need this in your life. You know that. You've seen me use it. And as I said, cost per use now is virtually zero, because I have used this on so many different occasions since I've had it. It's just fabulous, and I can see so many more uses with it as well. So I'm using that one this morning. This is my colour combo. So I've got crumb cake, soft sea foam then, soft succulent, Calypso Coral, which is quite a bright orange for me, so I'm going a bit brave. I'm only using a bit of it, a teeny weeny bit, and then some Pale Papaya. So lovely colour combo. The DSP has some of these colours, but it uses Pear Pizzazz, I believe, and maybe Old Olive, but today I'm using just a bit of the DSP, and I'm mitting out the Old Olive, and I've switched it in for the soft succulent. So that's my colour combo. Let's get that out of the way. Let's have a quick look at the papers for those of you that don't have them. Let's grab the catalogue as well and just show you this suite. I adore, a bit like the Plentiful Pants. That's not good. Plentiful Plants. It's a bit of a mouthful. I love the spread in the catalogue as much as I love this one. Such a fabulous price. I mean, £17 for this stamp set. It's so pretty. I love the greetings we've got in there. You've got a couple of peachy phrases in there. Sweet as a peach and have a peachy day. But you've also got, let's celebrate you. Happy birthday. Thanks so much. It's your day. You're as, which it could be, you're as sweet as a peach. And you've got friend. I just think this is such a great stamp set. And, you know, you may think, well, once I've stamped a peach, you know, that's all I'm going to do with it. But you have to look outside of the box and see what else you can create with this. There is a suite which includes the mini jam jars. So that's those here. I don't have those as yet. They are on my list, but I don't have them yet. and the DSP, and it's just £53. Absolute bargain. You're going to get lots of uses from this. Let's have a look at the DSP. Now, I have been preparing for my Creative Escape, so I don't have a whole sheet of one of them. But look, they are quite busy, but when I turn them over, you'll see the plainer sides on them, like the patterned. So you've got balmy blue in here, which I think is lovely because it takes away from the peachiness of it. Really lovely. You could fussy cut these out if you wanted to. Fabulous set, really fabulous set of papers. You could cut these out as well if you wanted to. I probably wouldn't, but then that's just me. These are crying to be cut out. For you die-hard fussy cutters out there, I know there's a lot of you that hate it. And then sadly, that's all that's left of this sheet. But look how beautiful is that. Let's turn over. The reverse is balmy blue with a nice spot on there. Then we've got this Pear Pizzazz layer, a lovely Calypso coral white spot, and then a stripe here in the balmy blue, and then a wide stripe again with the Calypso coral. If I show you, this is Pale Papaya. Can you see the difference? So I've got an old Calypso coral. In fact, I have 3 old Calypso coral ink pads, which is why I'm reluctant to replace it for a new one just yet. And then look at this one. How cute is that design? Beautiful. So a really gorgeous, move that out of the way, set of DSP pattern papers. So as I mentioned, this is my colour combo. So Crumb Cake, Calypso Coral, Pale Papaya and Soft Succulent. I've got even an evergreen out there, but I'm definitely not using that. That was obviously something else I was playing with. Right, let me bring in my first kit. And let's get stamping. I've mounted up already the peach. There's a nice Alfie hair on there. Thank you for that one, Alfie. I have mounted up this little leaf. Leaf. I'm all tongue twisted today. And I'm going to use the happy birthday greeting. What else do I need? I think that's it for stamping at the moment. So not a lot. We're going to keep it simple to start with. Now I've got a very grubby piece of scrap grid paper. Let's pull out some pieces in here. So this is going to give you an indication. I'm using the Calypso Coral DSP. So it's that one with the large peaches on the background. And I've got my base there. I've pre-cut some tag reinforcers already. Move those bits out of the way. I've got some stamping strips from my scraps bag. And then I've got a couple of layers here. And that is to do my tags on. So what I'm going to do first, let's fold the base and then I can pop that out of the way. Morning, Lynn. How are you? How are you doing? Are you still in recovery process? I know it can be, as it says, long, but I hope that each day you're feeling a little brighter and pushing yourself out of the zones to recovery. Okay, so first of all, so I've got my base, I've folded it in half. So this now measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/4, which is my general size. You're slowly on the mend. Oh, you're still off work, okay, but loving the sunshine. I know, it just picks us all up, doesn't it? Got the windows open here in the studio. There's a bit of air flowing in, which is lovely. And as I said, that huge fly has just come in through one of the Velux. But yeah, it's beautiful out there. We're very lucky, aren't we? We did have a bit of a dull day on, was it Sunday? I think it was Sunday, yeah. But it's picked up a little bit. So I've got my base. My next layer is my soft succulent. And this measures, sorry that I work in inches, but that's just the way it is. 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. And then what's going to happen is this layer is going to sit on top, and I've just taken off 1/8. So that will be 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. Put my ruler back in my pot, and I'm going to start. I did this on Saturday. It's my all-time favourite thing. With my blending brush, I'm going to take some crumb cake and just going to add in a bit of colour to this base. So I'm just picking up ink in a circular motion, taking the harshness away from it, and then gently, and then adding more pressure, gently to start with, working in a circular motion. And I'm kind of just focusing up here and down here. Can pop a little bit down here. Don't need too much, just a bit to add, just to add a bit of interest to a plain white background, really. And then with I'm going to move that out of the way because earlier I splattered ink all over my desk and everywhere. I'm just going to flick from my crumb cake Stampin' Right marker. Hoping this is in shot. I could be a bit low. Just going to add some splats, a couple down there as well, so that we end up with this kind of grubby looking, antiqued, stained splattered piece of cardstock. So I'm going to pop that to one side. Now what I'm going to do with this layer, I've got a piece of basic white and I've cut a strip, which I think is 2 inches. Just cut a 2-inch strip of this DSP, and I'm going to stick this on. You might wonder, what on earth am I doing? But all will be revealed. I'm just adding Tombow around the edge and laying that down along the bottom, like that. So I've got a plain white piece with a lovely border at the bottom. Then what I'm going to do is bring in my tailor-made tags, and using this large one, I hope I've cut this to the right height. Just found a little stray leaf then. I'm going to pop this down onto my platform for my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to stick it down, grab my top plate. There's a few of you hopping on. If you're just joining, please say hello. Come and have a chat with us. If you're crafting along, that's totally fine. So I've just got, I'm going to be using that on another project. Just going to pull that bit of washi tape off. Where's my take your pick tool gone? There it is, where it should be. I'm just going to push that out. They do seem to get stuck in that little hole there. And then I've got this lovely tag that has the DSP on it, but it also has the stitching around it as well. So, morning Belle, how are you? I've been trying to catch up with your live, honey, and it must be the internet, and you can probably all vouch for me on this, but I start watching a Facebook Live on a replay, and then it suddenly the screen goes black, and then it says, you're not able to view this video, as if like there isn't enough internet maybe. I'm wondering if that's what it is. Anybody else having it at the moment? I know Facebook can play funny games. Just going to add a reinforcer. I've pre-cut a little reinforcer here in crumb cake, and I'm just going to pop that on there like that and stick it down. Yeah, Facebook can play funny games. I've heard of people not being able to go live lately. They're about to go live and then Facebook says that they're not allowed to do it. Morning, Vicky. How are you? How are you keeping? What are you up to? So you're going to be heading off to bed shortly, aren't you? Belle, the black screen's been happening to you. Yeah, I don't know why. It's so frustrating because if you refresh the page, then it takes you right back to the beginning. And I tried that with you last night because I came back over when Evsy went home at about 6. I came back over here to do a bit of work, and I was trying to catch up with your live, and every time I refreshed it, it took me right back to the beginning, but it kept at the same point in the video, it kept throwing me out. So frustrating. So I'm just popping this layer that I did a bit of blending on, popping it down onto my soft succulent layer, and then I'm going to lay this down onto my base. Oops, just dunked my finger in the Tombow. So I've got quite a big border on here, quite a lot of white showing. You know that's what I like. You're doing okay, Vicky. That's good to hear. Oh, it's cold and wet. Oh, I'm sorry about that. We have had a lot of that lately, I'm not going to lie. And you've got snow on the mountains. Winter has arrived. I know. I just find it so bizarre. So bizarre. And I find it bizarre that I'm talking to you and you're just like a million miles away. But do you know, soon, I can't think, 2 or 3 weeks, and we're going to be having the longest day, which is quite scary. And we went to bed at about 10:30 last night, and just before I actually went up, it was still, I'm not going to say daylight, but it was still dusk outside. I just feel that we don't get enough. The summer kind of comes too late, and the nights start drawing in before it's warm enough for us to sit outside and stay outside in the evenings. And sit and lounge and relax outside. It's just not warm enough. Well, it's not warm enough for me anyway. I'm always cold. Right, let's pop this tag down and not waffle for too much. Although it's good to talk, it's good to chat with you. And I know for some of you, having a little chat is a bit of a lifeline. It's the great thing about what we do as well. When we craft, it kind of takes us away from everything. The time just flies, doesn't it, when we're crafting. Right, I'm going to pop this tag over here towards the right of my card, like that. Okay, so you can see the stitched around that. I really want to zoom in a bit, but you know what happens when I do the zoom. I know, technology, we are lucky, Vicky, aren't we, that Facebook and YouTube and things like that, YouTube, yeah, but Zoom have enabled us to kind of stay face to face with people. So I am thankful for that. And technology in my life is only good when it's working, which of course is common sense. Right, what's on the other side of here? Let's turn this one over. Let's stamp some peaches. So I have also got in my little basket, I've pulled in one of our daubers. These are designed, they've got a little hole so they can go on the end of your finger. I never use them like that. I kind of just hold onto them. But I'm going to stamp, let's move that over a bit. I'm going to stamp my peach in pale papaya. Then I'm going to take the Calypso Coral, check the fingers first, and see something on there, a bit of fluff. And I'm going to add, so let's just show you what the peach looks like when we stamp it down on its own. I can still see something there, a bit of fluff. And can you see that bit of fluff added that? So this is the peach on its own. It's got a bit of depth, it's got a bit of texture, but I think it's really nice if we dip this in the Calypso Coral. I'm going to take a little bit off and then gently add a bit of blush around the right hand side, so that we get this kind of, because a peach does quite often look like that, doesn't it? It has that kind of orangey tone to part of the skin. So I'm going to do another one. Let's just stamp that off because I don't want any Calypso coral in my pale papaya ink. That would not be good. And I can reuse that dauber because they do hold quite a lot of ink. And obviously the Calypso is quite a strong colour. So you'll get a different effect every time. That's a bit harsh down there, but I'm not too bothered about that. And then I need, oh, I've got ink somewhere on my thumb. Then we need a couple of leaves. So these are the leaves that go with the peach, and I'm going to do mine in soft succulent. Now the trend would be to use old olive or pale papaya because that's what's guided us in that direction from the pattern papers that go with this. So, but I wanted to do something a little different because I've been creating lots of projects with these peaches, none that I can actually show you yet. So let's bring back in the cutting plates. You could fussy cut around these if you wanted to. Let's just chop those. It's a scrappy bit. You could fussy cut, but we've got the dies, so why would we? Let's tape these down and then I'll catch up with some comments. Lynn, you've just ordered this. It's coming today. Oh, how exciting. I'm waiting for some orders, actually. I need to check my tracking. You're keen to see what I make to give you some ideas. Oh, bless you. Well, I don't think I'm very inspiring. Let's just pop these through. I don't know if what I'm going to share today is very inspiring. Sorry, I'm talking to you with my back to you. But I do want to show that it's just not all about the peach. As lovely as the peach is, it's about the other items that are in the set. And obviously this is my focus for June, so I'm going to be doing lots of other projects with this stamp set as well. But I love it, love it. Right, I've just cut these two out. I do love my cutting machine as well, guys. Those of you that might be hesitating about getting the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, it is brilliant. I do love it. It looks very pretty too, and that's part of it, isn't it? Okay, so we've got some peaches cut. And just to say about this blush, if you don't have a dauber, let me just show you. What you could do, is that big enough? Yeah. Let's just stamp that off to get the worst off. If you've got these two colours, or if you've got a peachy kind of colour and a darker orangey colour, you can ink it up in the pale colour, and then you can do like a bit of like rocking and rolling. It does mean it's going to be very harsh. Can you see that? So what I might do is just stamp off gently. It gives you a much harsher line, and then stamp down. It's not the same effect, but if you don't have a dauber, it's kind of the next best thing. But to be honest, if you haven't got a dauber to hand, if you've got an old bath sponge, chop it up. Why have I lost a leaf? Chop it up and use that. Where did the leaf go? Can anybody see it? Why does that always happen? I'm looking, I'm not seeing it. I need another leaf. Let's see if I've got a spare one. Got one here. Let's cut another. I do not know what happened to the other leaf. It's a mystery. I'm lifting everything up to see where it's hiding. I'm going to have to cut another one of these out quickly. Oh, I just found it. It's in my bin. How did it get there? See, this is why you need to keep track of your things. Things go missing. So little dies and things, they can end up in your bin as well. So, okay, let's just give that stamp a clean off. So, oh, Lynn, thank you. I do hope I'm inspiring, but sometimes I just think I'm not great at doing simple things. But sometimes you just, what we create is very personal to us. And obviously we are all very, very individual, and we all have very individual tastes. So sometimes you just kind of doubt yourself that, are people going to like that? You know, I worry about things. I'm a worrier. I always will be, and that will never change. Right, my little peaches are going to go on here. My little peaches, that sounds slightly rude. Let's not use that phrase again. These little peaches. Oh dear. Facebook will probably throw me off if we start talking about little peaches. Anyway, just popped a couple of dimensionals behind here, and then my little leaves here. I find that if I pop a dimensional here, just at the point where it goes narrow, that's usually a good place to anchor the leaf on top of the peach. Thank you, Belle. That's kind of you to say. And this one, I'm going to pop it down there because I know it will be hidden by my leaf when I stick it down. And thank you as well, Ruth. You guys are too kind. Oh, it's not really hidden. Let's pick it up. Move it down a bit. That's better. Can you see I've just hidden that dimensional under there so that when we pop this leaf in, it will hold on to it there. She presses it down firmly, and then I want to move it over a bit. That's better. I think the stalk looks good when it's in the centre of the peach. Okay, so you can see where we're going. Let's do a greeting. Now I've got the happy birthday, and I'm going to stamp in my crumb cake. And I tried to re-ink my crumb cake this morning and then realised I was almost at the very end of my refill bottle, and I don't have a spare one in stock. Can you believe that? So when my next order goes through, I'm going to make sure that I need to order a crumb cake ink refill. I honestly thought I had a spare one, a brand new one. So I'm going to ink up the happy birthday, which is lovely. I love the style of this font. So it could really look better if it was slightly darker, which isn't too bad. And I'm just going to snip off. And I was convinced I had more crumb cake ink pads rather than just one. But do you think I can put my hand on them? No, I've got a whole load of like duplicates of ink pads. The other thing I wanted to do, let's bring that back in. So I'm going to do happy birthday to a sweet friend. So I've just got this skinny, just going to flatten that out. It's got a bit of a bow on it, and that will make stamping on it tricky. Just going to stamp that down, this little skinny strip. Oops, and snip it off at an angle. So, talking of being inspiring, have you heard of, well, those of you that demos on here will have heard of the artisan design team. I would love to be a part of that, but I've always wanted to enter for it. But then it slightly freaks me out because I feel like you're put under pressure. And I don't like being put under pressure. I'm a bit of a weakling when it comes to things like that. So I don't know. They will be opening up the window to apply to be an artisan design team member on the 15th. And sorry, I'm trying to talk and focus on what I'm doing at the same time. Obviously not good at multitasking. And I keep thinking, should I apply? I'd like to, but it's such an honour to be accepted as part of that. And I know people, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who are or who have been on the artisan design team, and it's just so inspiring. Jacqueline, you're telling me to go for it. Yeah, I just feel it's all the pressures that come with it. You know, keeping up with the blog posts, and which I'm getting pretty good, not at the blog posts, I will mention, getting pretty good at the Facebook and the Instagram. But it's just keeping track of everything, and life gets in the way. And I'm finding now I'm really only working 3 days a week, really. I've got 3 set days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because Monday's a Nana day, and then Friday or a Thursday or a Friday, really, either are going to be a day with Coles and the grandchildren as well. So I have to be, I need to work on my time management. Need to work on it. So anyway, yeah, maybe I should just go for it. I mean, the chances are not going to get it, but why not, hey? Why not? So next, got a little sneak then. I'm going to use some of these flowers here. So can you see all these individual little leaves and things? You've got 3 of this tiny little flower, but I'm going to use this one here, which just cuts out 3 lovely, sweet little flowers. Let's just chop this all in one go. They're really dainty, and I feel that you could use them in place of embellishments, just to add a little something to, so you can see how small they are. The other ones are even tinier, and I'm going to pop them as I would normally do in like a triangular little bit of tombow, in a triangular formation. Use my take your pick tool with that lovely putty end. Yeah, the whole artisan design team thing it's a lovely idea, and I'm so inspired by what they do, but I don't know. Yeah, Vicky, no harm in applying. Belle, you're very right there. We do regret things, and you know, quite often we think we're not good enough to do these things, but yeah, I need to think on it seriously. Okay, so we're almost there. Let's bring in some trusty pearls, which are such a good basis. If you don't have loads of like gems and embellishments, then if you get the pearls, you can colour them in with our Stampin' blends. If you've got any Sharpies, you can colour them in. And I like to use the bullet tip for this. Lynn, stop overthinking it and just try. Yeah, I think I will. Maybe I will. You guys are telling me I should, so maybe I just will. And like you say, have nothing to lose. And I would never feel, if I entered and didn't get it, it wouldn't make me feel like I'm a failure. I'm not that kind of person. You know, I'm one of these. My glass is always half full. I don't enjoy negativity of any point. I steer away from that. I don't like, even like on a lot of groups, I don't participate a lot and I don't follow because I can't be doing with the negativity. So I wouldn't be disgruntled if I entered and didn't get it. Not at all. It wouldn't make me feel like that. But I think it's just that initial like, oh, am I good enough to do this? Can I keep up with this with my busy schedule? Not that I'm the only one in the world with a busy schedule. Of course, we're all busy, but I don't take a lot of time for me. Definitely don't. So there we go. First card, kind of using the stamp set for what you would see it for. So literally just the peaches. So there we go. Let us have a bit of a tidy up. I've got stuff everywhere here, guys. Let's put that away and bring in another kit. Now, all 3 cards that I'm doing today use exactly the same measurement as each other. So all the same layers, all the same sizes. I just feel it just helps, you know, create, when you're cutting some layers, cut more than one and create different cards using the same bits and pieces. And I do this a lot. You've probably noticed by now. My lovely friend, which some of you will know on here, Michelle Last, once said to me over a phone call, work smarter, not harder. And that has stuck with me for many years. Many years. I wrote it down on a note and it was stuck on my desk for a very long time. But now it's just ingrained in the brain that, you know, we invest a lot of time in creating things. And even those of you that just stamp at home for your own pleasure, make life easier for yourself. Cut multiples of things, stamp multiples of things. Okay, waffle, waffle. Exactly the same layers again. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to be bored with me using this blending brush. But it's quick. It's a good quick layer. I'm going to have a quick drink while I look at your comments. Yes, Ruth, loved adding you could have just added a strip of DSP to the bottom of this tag, but by sticking it onto the basic white layer first, you just get that lovely stitched print to it. So, and I've not actually used these tags, I don't think, as tags for anything yet. I've just used them on cards. So I've got so many ideas in my head of things that I want to create with these tailor-made tags. And just not the time to do it at the moment, but the time will come. Sorry if the table's rocking, the camera's rocking. My table's not moving much, but... Belle, you're going to kick my butt. Yeah, I know you will, honey. I know you will, and I'm thankful for that. You are my bouncing partner, and I am really thankful for that, because we all need that. We all need someone to make ourselves feel accountable for things. That's a good way of looking at it, Lynn, yeah. So you look at a no to be nearer to being a yes next time, and that's very true. That's very true. So my poor crumb cake blends. I'm going to have to order another set of these. So what we need is Stampin' Up! To bring back that spritzer that we had. Do you remember it? I found mine the other day. Here's mine. I was talking to Liz about this. Who remembers this? I loved this gadget. So basically it works. We don't sell it anymore, but the pen, you undo this and the pen goes down in. The nib goes over the edge of this point here, and then you've got this bulb here that pushes air out and splats ink everywhere. I'm so sad that we don't have that, because the splatting is such a good process, and we're ruining our nibs by splatting them over the edge of the lid. Right, let's pop this layer on here. There's no Tombow coming out whatsoever. There we go. You struggled to use it a bit. Yeah, it was a bit of a technique, the squeezing. It was a bit of a hit and miss, but it was good when you fathomed it out. And I think it was all about the placement of the nib over the end of, you know, where the air comes out. Vicky, need to sandbox it. Yeah, definitely. I think everybody should sandbox that. It's just such a great product. So again, just layering up these mats to go straight down on. I feel the sniffs coming again. Really conscious to not sniff when I'm live. It's so hard though. If you've got like hay fever symptoms, and you know when, this is definitely too much information, but you know when you blow your nose and there's nothing there, that's what it's like. It's horrible. But you still have the tendency to sniff. Oh dear, let's change the subject a bit quick. Okay, so next I'm going to use this other piece to cut another tag. Sniff when I got my back turned to you. I've got a tissue. I've always got a tissue on me because I sniff all the time. Must have some allergy to something. I don't know what. It must just be life in general because I sniff all the way through the year. Anyway, moving on. I'm just going to cut this tag. I love a spotty paper, or I think this piece of washi tape has lived its day. Just going to push out that one. Otherwise, if they build up in there, it eventually won't cut a hole in your tag as time goes on. If it builds up in that hole, you'll end up with, it won't cut that part out properly. So mini dimensionals behind here. Belle, you've got the spritzer tool. Oh, okay. You've got one from a kiddie's kit. Yeah, the trouble is I'm reluctant to use it because it's kind of cheating. And I want you guys to use, you know, things that I see so that you can replicate. So on this card, I'm going to pop this tag roughly in the same place as I did on the previous one. So it's looking very similar to start with. Now what I'm going to do is use these flowers. Let me just bring in the stamp set. So this set of flowers here can be used with this lovely ensemble of leaves. So you can stamp both of those together. There is a die that cuts out these leaves, but it's a separate die to cut out the flowers. Okay, so this is the one that cuts out those leaves that I showed you, then this is the one that cuts out the flowers. It doesn't cut them all out, so if you stamp the flowers with that leaf shape won't cut your flowers out as well. It doesn't work like that. But I love these flowers. Let's bring in this messy mat and some scrap. And I'm going to do some flowers in the pale papaya. So I'm going to ink them in the pale papaya. Take my dauber, again, take a bit off, and then just dab in the centres so that we get, I'm going to show you one without adding the dauber. They're still pretty, but can you see the difference? We just get that bit of depth in the centre of a flower. And when you're looking at a flower, it does always seem darker in the centre. So I'm just adding, and you could probably do this after. You could add, you know, a bit of colour like this, if you're gentle. And how many do I need? I think that's probably enough. Oops, let's put these inks out of the way. And these would be really easy to fussy cut around as well. Now we've only got the one flower die, so I have to do this twice. I didn't want to, for my final card I have done some die cutting ahead of time, but I didn't want to on this. I wanted you to see how the different dies work. So let's just run that one through. Somebody's flat out asleep under my desk. Such a hard life being a dog. Bless him. Okay, let's just run that one through as well. You see I'm using a new plate. I was so embarrassed about my other plate. I pulled my new one back out. That missed a little bit. Wasn't brilliant cutting there, but it will do. Have that bit of washi tape back. And I also need, could have done that at the same time. That was a bit dim. It doesn't surprise me one bit. It can be very dim most of the time. Let's have a little bit of this. 2, 3. Let's just cut 2 of these tiny little double leaves like that in the soft succulent. Should have paid attention. I could have done that at the same time. Oh, I left one behind. They're really sweet. Come out. There. Put those back on my magnetic sheet, and I've already cut a couple ready. Then I'm going to pull in I'm going to put the lid back on my Take Your Pick tool and just give these a little press. Like so, just to give them a little bit of life. Don't know if I need all of these flowers. That was a bit, just going to trim around that so there's just not so much white edge happening. Wasn't a very good example of die cutting. I'm going to catch up later, Belle. Oh, I hope it goes well. Yeah, I will share all of the projects later anyway. I'll take some photos, pop them on Instagram. I need to get going on my blog, get a bit more active on there, especially if we're going to be thinking about entering for the artisan design team. No pressure. So these little flowers are teeny tiny, super cute, but very dangerous in the fact that they're so tiny you could easily misplace them. So be very careful when you're using them. Can you see how cute they are? So I'm just going to put mine straight back on my magnet sheet. And just push those off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's enough. And I love that you get 3 of those in the die set. 3 of those like clusters of flowers. Right, let's start layering. Shall we start layering? No, let's do our greeting first. So let's push that to one side. I've got a strip, another scrap of basic white. And I'm going to use exactly the same greeting I did before in the crumb cake. Just ink that up. And down onto this skinny strip. Is that crooked? Let's do it again. Like that. Snip it off as we did before. And then I've got a bit left of this and we'll do the To a Sweet Friend again. I definitely have lots of sweet friends. And trim the edge off. Oh, it's so nice to hear the birds, isn't it? We were discussing this on Saturday morning when I was live, actually, because the sheep and the lambs were really noisy at the weekend. They don't seem to be so vocal today. So I'm going to pop under this layer. You may not want to, because this does make the card, give it quite a lot of height. So when you're posting out, it's going to cost you more money. I'm just going to pop this one down. So it's overhanging on the right hand side. And then my sweet friend is just going to go underneath. So we'll just add a little bit of Tombow under there. And pop that one down so that it's overhanging as well. And then let's add some flowers. So we've got 3 different sizes of flowers in each cluster. You kind of get a large, a medium and a small. So let's just pop some Tombow and lay these flowers down in a little cluster of their own. Like that. And stick, and we'll put a couple down at the bottom just to kind of balance it out a bit. I've one down here and then a little one. Down there, just push that down. Make sure they stick. And then these teeny tiny little centres, I want the middle to come out of that one. Oh, it just did. That's good. And that one's still got the centre in as well. Just push that out. There. Get lots of confetti left. Excuse me. Then have control of your Tombow so that just a teeny tiny, because you can do this with Tombow, if you're careful with it, you can really control how much comes out. And then with my Take Your Pick tool, it's so sticky, it doesn't like to let go. Just going to pop these into the centres of my flowers. I want these to be facing the right way up. They're so cute and they make lovely centres on your flowers. Then I just need to cut with the larger flower die. I'll just cut 3 of those. Very quickly. Like that. Them all facing up the right way. And we'll pop some leaves in first. So, tinsy bit of Tombow. And we'll just pop them behind some of the flowers just to add a bit of greenery and to tie in with the layer that's next to the base. I do like these little leaves, I think they're very sweet. And as pretty as they are, and they are a bit fiddly, I fear that they will get left out from your projects because you're just going to focus on those peaches. So let's add one there, move you around a bit, and then one at the bottom. Just let's lift you up a bit, tuck you under. Like that. And then to finish, oh, I've just noticed I missed something, but I think I can still do that. let's pop on a little reinforcer. I totally missed putting some twine through here, but I'm wondering if I might be able to do it even though it's stuck on my card stick. Just pop that little reinforcer on there. Let us think. We'll see if it'll work. I should have done this before the tag went down, but I was way ahead of myself. Let's just pull this through my nail just to straighten it a bit. And I want to cut a couple of pieces about this length. This bit of ribbon keeps getting in my way. Let's put it at the bottom on my scissors. So I'm just going to cut 2 pieces, have them nice and straight. Then I'm going to fold them in half so that the ends are together. Oh, Alfred's having a good shake. And then I'm going to thread them through this hole. Hopefully I can pull it through. Yeah. So that it looks like that. So that I've got 2 loops and then the tails hanging through the bottom. And then the tails, this is why it's much easier to do this before you put the tag down. The tails go through the loop and then you just pull it. And then you've got this nice kind of rough bit going on at the top. And I'm just going to snip those off a little bit. Making a mess. Just kind of have them randomly straggling around up there. Nearly done, nearly done. I'm going to add some of these larger flowers. Just here. And I can leave the centres on because I'm going to add in some of the pearls. So again, with my bullet tip, I don't like to use the brush tip because I'm just fearful that it will ruin. Just going to colour in over the pearls. You could keep them white. And I just think by using that teeny tiny flower to centre your flowers, it saves you having to pop embellishments on them. So let's just pop these in the centres of the little pale papaya flowers. And then we're finished. So there we go, card number 2. So the same but different, the same sketch. Let me bring in the other one. So exactly same design, using the same stamps, using the same colours, same inks, just switching out the images from the sets. Hello Louise, how are you? Your order's just shipped for this. Yeah, I bet you can't wait for them to come. They are gorgeous. So I just created 2 cards, got 1 more card to do with you this morning, and then it's going to be time for breakfast. Let's pull in my kits. So as before, let's get rid of these little bits of linen thread. As before, exactly the same layers. Got a bit hiding in there. Exactly the same layers. So let's start by folding my base. I'm going to do exactly the same process. Told you you'd be bored of this by the end, but it's such a quick thing to do. So with the crumb cake ink, just adding a bit of interest. I'm glad you like them, Ruth. Such a beautiful set. I just think, like, with the tags as well, you know, how nice would it just be to give somebody a little basket with some fruit in, just as a little Hello, I'm thinking of you. You know, something so inexpensive, a little, and I'm not talking like a big wicker basket filled with fruit, just a little basket or box that you've decorated, pop some fruit in there, and then made a lovely peachy tag to go on it. How nice would that be? Right, where's my crumb cake marker? Just add some splats. Oh, the poor nib. It's definitely not loving me for enjoying this technique. Poor little crumb cake. Marker pen. Okay, let's add some Tombow on the back of that layer. Pop it down onto my soft succulent. So as I've said, all 3 cards, exactly the same measurements for each one, all the same layers. And then this time I've chosen this piece of DSP, and I'm just going to add it to the bottom of this piece of basic white. Is that straight? It looks it. Pull in my, oh, I failed miserably. My piece is, oh, look. That's a challenge. Let's see if it cuts. Let's see if we can cut it out with this very tight piece of card. It will be a miracle if it does, if I don't chop off the top or the bottom. Obviously didn't measure that very well when I cut it. Let's have a look. Oh, just got in there with a cat's whisker. You have to remember with dies. So this die, it cuts exactly to the edge of the actual die. So when you're looking from the front, it cuts almost to that edge. Some of our dies, there's a bit of a gap between the edge of the die and the actual cutting area. Right, let's put this die back. Last card, and then you can all head off the rest of your day. Not that I'm wishing away my time spending with you, because you know I enjoy it. So we've got this lovely stripy Calypso coral tag. Now I'm going to pull in the other stamp set that I'm focusing on this month. I'm going to put this on my base layer as well. So the other stamp set I'm focusing on is the Plentiful Plants. Love, love, love. Love this one. And all I'm going to use from this one, let's stick this down onto my base. And then we know we've got all the layers. So hopefully tomorrow I will be creating my, oh, that layer doesn't look very good. Let me just check. I think this one is wrong. Slightly too long. Hopefully tomorrow I will be creating, still looks a bit, the layers don't look right. I might have to chop that after. I've got a taller border at the top and the bottom, which bothers me. So I can, it should be 5 3/4. It is, I must have cut the inner layer slightly wrong on that one. Good job I'm only human, isn't it? And a good job it really doesn't matter. Yeah, so I will be, have a quick drink. Hopefully tomorrow, that's the 3rd time I've said that. I will be creating, using Sweet as the Peach, my monthly class in the post and PDF tutorial and video class as well. So do look out for that. Right, what I'm going to pull in is this stamp. It's stained, but it's totally fine. It's where I've used darker colours with it. And I need a little scrap of basic white. It's quite a large piece. If I got a smaller one, not to hand. So I'm going to ink this in the crumb cake. And that's the only image I'm using from that set. And I'm just going to quickly run that through the die cutting machine. These are the dies that go with this stamp set. Absolutely beautiful. I've got an online class with this one tonight, my 6-card class, which is going to be fun. Just cut this one quickly. That bit of washi tape's almost done as well. And then I'm going to pop that one, of course, on dimensionals. And just lay it onto my tag. And I've done it again as well. I'm supposed to be popping ribbon through this tag hole. Making life difficult for myself today. I've already cut a reinforcer. And that's in crumb cake. So I'm just going to pop that one on ready. Have it so it's centrally over the hole. So I've just got my little flower pot on there like that. And now I need to stamp. Oh, I'm not going to stamp these because I've already done some to save time. But I'm using these flowers again, and I've done exactly the same process. I have so many little jars like this full of bits. Done exactly the same process. So I've got a splat of ink on that one. How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've inked up in the pale papaya and then taken the dauber and just gone onto the centres and then stamped it down. You just have to remember to give it a little clean on your grid paper in between, just so that you're not transferring ink onto your pale papaya ink pad. So I'm just giving these flowers a bit of life. Oops. Trying to check comments and look what I'm doing at the same time. So I thought this was another great way of using these flowers on their own without stamping the vine, well, not the vine, but the leaf kind of ensemble that goes with them. So let's lay some flowers down around this pot. I really want to zoom in a bit, but I'm worried it'll flip my screen, which it likes to do. Let's give it a whirl. You might just get a shot of my ceiling. Well, not today. Didn't want to today. So I'm just laying these flowers down randomly. Let's pop a bit of glue there. Oh, I want... No, let's put that one there. I was going to put a slightly larger one there. My Tombow is getting low, which is why I keep doing that with it. And another one in there. So I'm just building up like a pot of flowers that would be sitting out on your patio. We'll tuck one under there. I think. Can always move it. And we'll have one at the top. I'm just going to pull them over a bit. The Tombow hasn't quite stuck, just while I reposition. That will do. Just give them a bit of a press. And then I've die cut out lots of these lovely little tiny flowers. Just give my Tombow a little clean on the end. And I've just got a splodge of glue there. Pick that up. Louise, will I be using this suite all month? Yes, along with the Plentiful Plants. So probably whenever I'm going live, it will be one or the other. I will try and alternate. Put a bit of glue in the centre there. Try and alternate them. I've also got kits that I need to be sharing. Whew, I need more hours, guys. Let's just pop in some of these little dinky flowers that I've cut into the centres. Let's move you over a little bit. And I've cut some in Calypso Coral as well, just so that they're not all the same colour. That's it. Turn over so that I've got the right side. I don't want the middle in that one. And one last one over there. So I've just added in the centres of the flowers. Just move all of those out of the way. They'll go back in my pot for another use. And then we'll bring in some greenery. So we'll put some double leaves behind the larger flowers. Louise, kits for which? What do you mean by that? Kits for which? So I'm doing, each month I'll do two, so each month I'm focusing on 2 product bundles, suites, and each month there will be kits in the post that you can purchase for them. There will also be the option to purchase a PDF and an online class for those kits as well. So this month there will be a class for the Plentiful Plants and a class for the Sweet as a Peach. Can't pick that one up. And pop one behind there. And then one up here. How does that look for balance? I think that's enough. We could pop another, maybe down here. No. I'm going to pop that one in there. I just feel need something else up there. I've now got Tombow on me. There we go. Just going to pick up a bit of Tombow that's squidged out behind there. And we just need to add our greeting. And this time I thought I would use the thanks so much, which is in the set, which is lovely. And I've got a little scrap here. Let's bring in my mat. And I'm going to do this in the pale papaya. The other ones I did do in the crumb cake, but I wanted to bring a bit of the pale papaya in. No, I've not designed the Sweet as a Peach yet. I was talking about that earlier. I'm hoping to get that designed tomorrow, if I can get everything else done first. I've got team training to design for. I've got kits to pack for my creative escape. So I have created loads of stuff with the Sweet as a Peach, but they're not for anybody's eyes yet because they're for their creative escape. So they will come after. There'll be lots of inspiration after. It's going to pop a mini dimensional behind here. And a little bit of Tombow on the opposite end. And then pop that one down. Maybe under there, like that. And then I'm going to try and pop a bit of ribbon in. Should have done it before. So just have a closer look. Don't look at my layers, it's not very good. I'm gonna have to chop a bit off top and bottom. This is the In Colour Pale Papaya Open Weave ribbon. It's beautiful. So it comes in all 5 in colours. So it's very sheer. It ties beautifully. It is quite a slippery, what I call a slippery ribbon. So when you're trying to tie a bow with it, it kind of slides around a bit. You're looking forward to the 19th, Ruth? Yeah, me too. Just got a lot to do ahead of time. See if I can pull that through. Yeah. A lot to do ahead of time, but it will be a lovely, fun day. And who knows, I may have to throw another one in. I might even do a creative escape in a box as I've designed all of the projects. For those people maybe that couldn't attend, could have them in the post, all the kits. So I've just threaded that ribbon through. I've pulled off a glue dot and I'm going to pop it half on the tag and half on the ribbon, and then just press it down like that, just so it holds it in place. I'm going to trim a little bit off of the top. It's just a little bit too long, and when you pop it in the envelope, it's going to crinkle up a bit. My tummy is rumbling now, guys. The stomach is saying it's time to move on. It's breakfast time. Okay, so there we go. The final card. So just something a little different. You know, don't just think. Let's bring in all of the... I'm going to close these inks up. Let's bring on all of today's projects before I quickly show you what else is happening around here. So we've got the tag with just the flowers, and then we've got the original one with the peaches. So that's today's 3 projects. Now, just to mention, when I do my Tuesday live, if you place an order with me for £40 between today and next Monday evening, so before I go live next, if you place a £40 order, use my host code, I will send you some kits in the post to create these 3 cards. Obviously you don't get stamped pieces, but you will get all the die cut tags and things and all the little flowers and leaves that go with it. So and that's just to say thank you for stopping by. Obviously this is only open to customers, because if you're a demonstrator, you're not going to want to shop with me, shop with yourself. So that's my 3 projects for today. Hope you've enjoyed them. I just need to mention a couple of things. I am having a Zoom evening on Thursday, and it's to do with the Connect, Craft and Collect. This is finishing on the 14th of June. It's free to come along to the Zoom, but you will need to place an order of, at the most it would be about £33, but I need 6 people to join, and I'm short of those 6 people at the moment. So thank you, Ellie. Yeah, I love using all the little extra bits and bobs from stamp sets. So yeah, so I need some more people to make this work, because obviously once the order reaches £200, one of you coming to the Zoom will get £40 to spend on anything that you want. So that runs out on the 14th, so last opportunity to get one of these events in there. Then I'm going to give you a really quick sneak peek of my upcoming class for the Plentiful Plants. So this isn't actually on my events website yet, but it'll be coming hopefully later. So we've got 3 projects here using the Plentiful Plants. We've got a fun fold card hiding inside there as well. So there's a little sneak peek on that. So that's one of the classes in the post this month. So I think that's everything for now. Don't forget about the gorgeous new kits we've got. I've not had time to do anything with mine yet, but I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little insight into got another card here I did with this, into the Sweet as a Peach. So this just uses slightly different colour combo, bringing in the balmy blue that's in this pack of paper as well. And I've added in a bit of the Evening Evergreen, so just to make it a bit of a deeper card. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We've been almost an hour and a half. It's been really fun, but my stomach is now telling me that I need to go and eat. So thank you, Lynn. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you all for spending some time with me. But I'll be back with you all really, really soon. Take care, everybody, and I'm going to say bye for now. So bye.